Hey folks, Papa Boris here, reviewing the 12th game from the first Champions Cup Leaders Tournament on Board Games Arena. I was up against Canadian player meindigits, and I have to admit, this is a person whose name I have looked at a lot, because when you look at the ratings on ELO, meindigits has for a long time been the top player in North America. And since most of the players are French or European, I've always fantasized about being the #1 North American player, and I can't because of this guy. So anyway, in this game, I really wanted to win. I moved up with the leader, very strong board here. I grabbed the Hermit and Cub, and I think Bruiser would have also been a reasonable choice. My opponent takes the Bruiser here, and out pops the Royal Guard, so he grabs that as well. Very strong start. Here I step up with my Hermit Cub. I keep my leader where it is because I don't want to get super close to the Bruiser with the Royal Guard coming up. I grab the Slippery Vizier, and maybe that was a bit tame. Maybe I should have taken the Brewmaster or the Jailer here, because with such a strong start for the opponent, having a little bit more power of some sort as opposed to just a slippery leader could have been more relevant. The thing is that when I take the Vizier, now if a strong character pops out like it did, the Acrobat, which my opponent is going to take, after doing the usual Royal Guard shenanigans, then the slipperiness of the leader is not maybe necessarily going to be enough to avoid a problem. Now, at this point, I felt it was important to take the Jailer because I need to be able to stop this Bruiser, and with the Acrobat and the Royal Guard already very threatening and able to get up front really quickly, I thought letting the Bruiser shove in would just be too bad. So even though I wanted to take the Rider, I couldn't. I feel like the Jailer was just too important. But now, this means that my opponent, after doing a little bit of shenanigans to jump in with his Acrobat and advance his Bruiser, he gets the Rider on my side of the board, and this thing is ready to come in. Now on this turn, I think I make a pretty big mistake. I need to see that, okay, my pieces are not near his leader, his pieces are near my leader. I need to hunker down and play some defense. I gotta form a little wall here, bring the Cub back for defense. So I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I made this move. I step up, the Hermit keeps walking around being totally useless, the Cub steps up, which is completely useless, and then I zip over here with the leader. I think I just grossly underestimated the danger that I was in. And then I also grabbed the Brewmaster over here. This I think is a mistake because the Rider's coming in this way. I needed a piece over here to perform blocking duty. And maybe it's cool to have the Brewmaster being able to punch the Jailer and have the Jailer, get in and jail the correct piece. I think the defense was more important, especially because this Cub could have come down here, and that could have been used to block the Rider from swinging in. But instead, the Cub gets out of position, and I draft a piece out of position. And my opponent, very strong player, #1 North American player, he is not about to let this opportunity slip. So he just hammers me. He comes in with the Rider, shoves up with the Bruiser, doesn't care that he's up against the Jailer, comes in with the Acrobat and the Royal Guard. So now the Royal Guard can just move down here, and the Rider swings in for checkmate. And it's actually a little bit of a tricky threat to parry. If the Cub were here, I could parry it very easily. If my drafted piece were here, I could at least stop it from being a checkmate threat. But as it is, I don't really have any room to work with. So what I decide to do here is I step up with the Vizier, the Jailer, and the Brewmaster. And the way that I stop the checkmate is just by putting my leader back. So now the Rider is out of reach. But my Hermit and Cub are both out of position. They are both not contributing to my defense at all. So I took this character, the whole bonus of which is that he can put an extra piece on the board. And it's like I have no pieces on the board from this character. So this has been a very important lesson on the significance of proper positioning and realizing when you can advance your pieces and when you can't. My opponent doesn't even have to do anything particularly special here. He just moves his pieces towards my leader. This Acrobat's jumped once all game, the laziest Acrobat in the history of acrobatics. And now with this Rider getting to come in that I could have easily stopped, there's just no way to stop checkmate. There's no safety over here because the Bruiser moves and the Acrobat steps in behind. Here, the Acrobat jumps. Okay, the Acrobat can't jump because of the Jailer, but the Bruiser steps in, the Acrobat steps in behind. I can't do anything about that. The Bruiser can actually even kick my Brewmaster in some cases, and over here there's no safety because the Royal Guard and the Rider are here. So I just let my opponent's pieces walk up to my leader and win the game. I decided to simply pass the turn and allow my opponent to step in for checkmate. So, strong opponent, absolutely mopped the floor with me. I did not play correctly at all, and I hope that we can all learn from just my all-around incorrect play in this game. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.